Om. Om. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता दशमोऽध्यायः विभूतियोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच This is from Shloka 19. Hantate kathayishyami दिव्याह्यात्मविभूतयः प्राधान्यतः कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे अहमात्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूताशयस्थितः अहमादिश्च मध्यञ्च भूतानामन्त एव च आदित्यानामहं विष्णुः ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि वेदानां सामवेदोऽस्मि देवानामस्मि वासवः इन्द्रियाणां मनश्चास्मि भूतानामस्मि चेतना रुद्राणां शङ्करश्चास्मि वित्तेषो यक्षरक्षसां वसूनां पावकश्चास्मि मेरुः शिखरिणामहं पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्म्येकमक्षरम् यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालयः अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीर्णां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः उच्चैश्रवशमश्वानां विद्धि आममृतोद्भवम् ऐरावतं गजेन्द्राणां नराणां च नराधिपम् आयुधानामहं वज्रं धेनूनामस्मि कामधुक् प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानां वरुणो यादसामहं पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि यमः संयमतामहं प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणां पवनः पवतामस्मि रामः शस्त्रभृतामहं झषाणां मकरश्चास्मि स्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी सर्गाणामादिरन्तश्च मध्यं चैवाहमर्जुन अध्यात्मविद्या विद्यानां पादः प्रवदतामहम् अक्षराणामकारोऽस्मि द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च अहमेवाक्षयः कालो धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः मृत्युः सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्तिः श्रीर्वाक्यनारीणां स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिः क्षमा बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः ॐ तत्सत्
I will start with the 30th verse or?
Yeah, start with 30th.
प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम् Daityanam among the asuras who are born of Diti, Prahladah cha asmi, and I am Prahlada. Kalayatam among things that reckon. Aham kalah, I am time. Mriganam cha, and among the wild animals. Aham mrigendraha, I am the king of animals, the lion. Pakshinam among the birds. Vainateyah cha, and I am Garuda. And I am Prahlada, Daityanam Prahlada cha asmi, Kalayatam aham kalah, Mriganam cha aham mrigendraha, Pakshinam Vainateyah cha. And I am Prahlada among the Daityas, the Asuras who are born of Diti. Among things that reckon, I am the time, and among the wild animals, I am lion, and I am Gita among the birds. The one who is born of Diti is Daitya. A descendant can be regarded either from the maternal or paternal standpoint. There is a breaking of voice. The one who is born of Diti is a Daitya. A descendant can be regarded either from the maternal or paternal standpoint. Here it is from the standpoint of the mother. The son of Kunti, Kaunteya, is another example of mentioning the descendant from the standpoint of the maternal side. The sons of Diti are all Asuras. The Asuras and their progeny are called Daityas. Among them, there was one who, even though he was a son of an Asura, was a Bhakta of Narayana. That was Prahlad. He continuously repeated the Lord's name in spite of his father, King Hiranyakashipu's order and his teacher's efforts to teach him otherwise. Hiranyakashipu had ordered in his kingdom that he alone should be worshipped as God and no other god should be worshipped. Everyone had to repeat the words Hiranyaya Namaha and worship him as God. Prahlada refused to do that and continued to say the Lord Narayana's name, Om Namo Narayanaya. All attempts to make Prahlad accept Hiranyakashipu as Ishvara, including attempts to kill him, failed. One day, his father asked, "Where is this Narayana of yours?" "Everywhere," said Prahlad. "Is he in this pillar?" "Yes," said young Prahlada. Then Hiranyakashipu kicked the pillar. He had tried to ensure that he would be immortal by securing a special boon. The boon was that he cannot be killed by a human being or animal, neither during day nor at night, neither inside nor outside the house, neither by a wet nor dry instrument, etc. So when the pillar broke open, Lord Vishnu came out in the form of Narsimha, the head of a lion and a human body. He came at twilight, Sandhya Kala, when it was neither the day nor the night. He sat on the threshold so that he was neither inside nor outside. Since Hiranyakashipu should not touch the ground, Narsimha put him on his lap and killed him without
Jai Gurudev,
violating.
Leela.
Yeah,
I think there's some internet disturbance from your side. Is anybody else, Dr. Mara, are you able to read? If not, I will take over. If any one of you is able to read, let me know.
yeah, please.
I'll
Someone
try.
can help.
A little cough, but I'll try. Okay.
Okay, let me know when you're not able to. I will take over.
Okay.
Shall I previous page? Shall I?
No, that's fine. You can just continue from where you stopped.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Mara, it is this, and since Hiranyakashipu should not touch the ground.
Narasimha put him on his lap and killed him without violating any of the conditions of the comprehensive boon. Later, he enthroned Prahlada. That Prahlada, who is great Bhakta among the Daityas. I am, says the Lord. There are many people who keep accounts. One second. There are many people who keep accounts. Among all of them, I am the time that is ticking away constantly. There is nothing that escapes the reckoning of time. That time I am. Among all the wild animals living in the forest, I am the king of them, the lion or tiger. The lion is not afraid of any animal. A tiger, though it may kill a lion cub, will never voluntarily engage in fight with the lion. It will run away, but a lion will not run away even from a tiger. Sometimes the lion is wary of an elephant, but it is relatively fearless and can kill an elephant too. There are many forests where, in the absence of lions, the tigers, if they are there, become the rulers. The word mirga means a wild animal whose habitat is the forest. What we should understand here is this. Bhagavan says that The fearlessness and the power in the king of animals are me. Again, Bhagavan says that the fearlessness and the power in the king of animals are me. Next, he says, among the flying creatures or birds, I am Garuda. Garuda is the son of Vinata. Vinata is as is Aruna. And therefore he is called Vainateya. Vainateya. And is a devotee of Vishnu. Garuda flies very high, where even vultures cannot go. It looks like an eagle with a white band around its neck, and sighting it is a good omen. The capacity to soar to such heights and fly so beautifully are its special features. This Vibhuti of Garuda is nothing but me, says Bhagavan. The next is sloka.
You want me to chant, Dr. Mara?
1 second, let me get my
Yeah.
book. In my book, it is different. 1 second. It's 31, right?
Yeah, 31 shloka.
Pavanaga, sorry. Pavanaga Pavatam Asmi Rama Ramaha Sastra Britam Aham Jasanam Makaras Chasmi Srotsam Asmi Jagnavi. Go ahead and recite it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
getting the
chanted almost correctly. Pavana Pavatamasmi Ramashastra Jashanam Makarasyasmi Srotasamasmi Janavi. Dhanyavad.
Okay, I'll try it again. Pavatam among the purifiers. Pavanaha Asmi, I am air. So Pavatam is among the purifiers. Pavanaha Asmi, I am air. Sastra Britam, among those who bear weapons. Aham Ramaha, I am Rama. Joshanam, among the fish. Maharaha Asmi, I am the shark. Maharaha. Srotasam, Srotasam, among the rivers. Jarnavi Asmi, I am Ganga. Among the purified, okay, Pavatam, Pavana Asmi, Sastra Britam, Aham Ramaha, Jashanam, Maharaga Cha Asmi, Srotasam, Jarnavi Asmi. Among the purifiers, I am air. I am Rama among those who bear weapons. And among the fish, I am shark. Among the rivers, I am Ganga. Pavana is another name for Vayu. Pavana is another name for Vayu, air. Among the various purifying agents, Pavatam, I am Pavatam is I am Vayu, says Bhagavan. It is Vayu that keeps the atmosphere clean, and it also has a life-giving quality. It provides carbon dioxide for the plants and oxygen for man. That cleansing, life-giving capacity is me. Among those who wield weapons, I am Rama, who is an avatar of Vishnu himself. The avatar in this human body of Rama had great prowess. Even with one arrow, he could dry up the ocean and perform incredible feats because his arrows had extraordinary powers. Since there are other powerful avatars also named Rama, like Parashurama and Balarama, Shankara says Dasarathi Rama, who was the son of Dasarathi Rama, who was the son of Dasaratha. Ja, Josses, or fish, and other varieties of sea animals. Among them, I am Makaraka. The word Makara that can refer to any large aquatic animal such as crocodile, a shark, or a whale. A shark has a great capacity to devour. Its whole body seems to be full of teeth. The crocodile is also very powerful, and there is nothing like a whale for size, strength, and beauty. It is the elephant of waters. That vibhuti of the shark or whale or crocodile, I am, says Bhagavan. Among the rivers, I am Jarnavi, otherwise known as Ganga. Her water is always fresh. It is said that no bacteria can thrive in Ganges water. Whether that is so or not, every Hindu home has a pot of Ganga water, which never spoils. And through association and the circumstances of her birth, Ganga stands for knowledge. She is said to have come from Lord Shiva's head, and there are hundreds of stories associated with her as a source of knowledge and purification. In India, every river is worshipped, but Ganga has a special place. It is not just a river, but Jnana Ganga, the unbroken flow of knowledge itself. One dip is said to remove all sins. That is the Shraddha people have for Ganga. She is looked upon as a Devata. This is next one.
Very beautiful, no?
Yeah, it's very
Ganga,
nice.
Jahnavi.
Yeah. Sarganam adir antascha madhyam chaivagam arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vadaga pravadatam aham.
Yeah, I'll just repeat. Sarganamadhirantasya madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vadah pravadatamaham.
Okay. Arjuna, O Arjuna, Sarganam of creations, Aham, I am, Adihi, the beginning, Antacha, and the end, Madhyamcha, and the middle, Eva, indeed, Vidyanam, among the disciplines of knowledge, Adhyatma Vidya, I am knowledge of the self, Pravadatam, of those who discuss, Vadaha Aham, I am the discussion leading to truth. Arjuna, Sar, okay. Arjuna, Sarganam, Aham, Adihi, Antacha, Madhyamcha, Eva, Vidyanam, Adhyatma Vidya, Pravadatam, Vadaha Aham. I am indeed the beginning, the middle, and the end of the creations, Arjuna. Among the disciplines of knowledge, I am the knowledge of the self. Wow. Of those who discuss, I am the discussion leading to truth. This is the great the verse, I think. I mean, all of them are great. I'm
This is
indeed, I'm going to repeat it again. I am indeed the beginning, the middle, and the end of the creations, Arjuna. Among the disciplines of knowledge, I am the knowledge of the self. I think this was one of the quiz question, I think. Among the disciplines of knowledge, I am the knowledge of the self. Of those who discuss, I am the discussion leading to truth. Sarga. Here can be any activity. Of the various actions you may perform, like talking, eating, etc. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. The act of creation, the action that protects and sustains, and the action of destruction are the three most important of all actions. Or you can interpret it this way: the beginning of any action is thought of doing it, sankalpa. I am the very sankalpa of every action. The process of doing it, kriya, also is myself, and is so the result, phala. There is nothing else besides me. I'm going to read about the sarga. Sarga here can be any activity of the various action you may perform, like talking, eating, etc. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. The act of creation, the action that protects and sustains, and the action of destruction are three most important of all actions. Or you can interpret it this way: the beginning of any action is the thought of doing it, sankalpa. I am the very sankalpa of every action. The process of doing it is kriya, also is myself, and so is the result, phala. There is nothing else besides me. So is the sankalpa, kriya, and phala. Among the various disciplines of knowledge, I am Adhyatma Vidya. So this is called Adhyatma Vidya, the knowledge centered on the Atma. In other words, the knowledge which reveals the nature of Atma, and knowing which you know everything. This is the only Vidya which completes, frees you from ignorance, because you are not ignorant. You are Satchit Ananda Swarupa. I'm going to read this one more time. Among the various disciplines of knowledge, I am Adhyatma Vidya, the knowledge centered on the Atma. In other words, the knowledge which reveals the nature of Atma, and knowing which you know everything. This is the only Vidya which completely frees you from ignorance, because you are not ignorant. You are Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Among three types of discussions, Vada, Jalpa, and Vedanta. Vedanta. I am Vada.
Vitanda. Vitanda.
Yeah, it's a the Vedanta Vadam, that's how we say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's Vedanta. Yeah. I am Vada. Yeah. Discussion to discover the truth. A discussion to discover the truth is Vada. And in Jalpa, each participant wants to convince the others of his view. The discussion is not to find the truth, but only to prove one's point, like a discussion between two believers. In Vedanta, anything one of the participants says is judged wrong by the other. It is a personality clash and has nothing to do with finding out the truth. The whole point is to prove the other person wrong. While Jalpa is fanaticism, Vedanta is an ego trip. The third is Vada, a discussion to find out the truth. Whether you contribute to the discussion or just listen, the purpose is to discover the truth. Such fact finding discussions are real discussions, and this is what is referred to here. In fact finding discussions, we want to discover what is really there. What is there is Ishvara. In the other two types of discussion, there is only ahankara and one's own mental cobwebs. There is no truth. Vada, on the other hand, leads you to the discovery of Ishvara. And Bhagavan says, Vada is me, the fact finding capacity in the dialogue of those who discuss is me. Here, the sixth case in the word pravadatam has the meaning of In this section, that's a footnote. In this section, two types of sixth cases have been used. One is seshe and the other is niradarane. Niradarane. Seshe has the meaning of and niradarane shasti.
Nirdharane Shashti.
Nirdarane shasti. It has the meaning of among. So one is of, and the other one is among. Shashi nirdarane. Okay. So of is the session. So here the sixth case in the word pravadatam is the meaning of. Therefore, I am the vada, the very fact-finding discussion of those who discuss pravadatam. The prefix pra before vadatam tells us that the persons who are discussing are committed to vada, not other forms of discussion. So I'm going to kind of read that again, but this paragraph one more time about the discussions. Among the three different types of discussions, Vada, Jalpa, and Vedanta. I am Vada, a discussion to discover the truth. So that is, he is the Vada, discussion to discover the truth. In Jalpa, each participant wants to convince the others of his view. He wants to convince the others of his view. The discussion not to find the truth, but only to prove one's point, like a discussion between two believers. In Vedanta, anything one of the participants says is judged wrong by the other. It is a personality clash and has nothing to do with the finding out the truth. The whole point is to prove the other person wrong. While Jalpa is fanaticism and Vedanta is an ego trip. Third is the Vada. So the three types of discussion is Vada, Jalpa, and Vedanta. Vada is it's all the discussion to find the truth. Jalpa is fanaticism and Vedanta is the ego trip. The third is the Vada, a discussion to find out the truth. Whether you contribute to the discussion or just listen, the purpose is to discover the truth. Such fact-finding discussions are real discussions, and this is what is referred to here. In fact-finding discussion, we want to discover what is really there. What is there is Ishvara. In other two types of discussion, there is only Ahankara and there's one's own mental cobwebs. There is no truth. Vada, on the other hand, leads you to the discovery of Ishvara. And Bhagavan says, Vada is me. The fact-finding capacity is in the dialogue of those who discuss is me. Here, the sixth case in the word Pravadatam has the meaning of, therefore, I am the Vada, the very fact-finding discussion of those who discuss Pravadatam. The prefix pra before Vada.
Hari Om, Dr. Mara. I can
Yeah.
take over, Dr. Mara. You can rest for a while. No problem.
Okay, let me just finish this. So one thing.
You finish this.
The prefix pra before Vadatam tells us that the persons who are discussing are committed to Vada, not other forms of discussion. An account of the glories of Ishvara continues, even though there is nothing separate from him, wherever there is excellence, whether it is in terms of knowledge, beauty, or prowess, etc., that excellence should be viewed as Ishvara's. This applies not only with reference to people, but to places as well. We saw that Bhagavan said, among the words Giram, I am Omkara. Om is a word which includes phonetically all words in all languages. because all forms are the Lord's form and all names his name. The word Om is a perfect name for the Lord. Okay, because all forms are the Lord's form and all names his name, the word Om is a perfect name for the Lord. Now, the Lord talks about the most important letter among the letters in the beginning of the following verse. Okay.
Bella, I've started sharing screen, so don't worry. Yeah?
Oh,
Aksharanamakarosmi द्वन्द्वस्सामासिकस्य च अहमेवाक्षयः कालो धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः. Aksharanam, among the letters, Akarah Asmi, I am the letter A. Samasikasya cha, and among the compounds, Dvandvaha, I am the Dvandva. Ahameva, I am indeed. Akshayah Kalah, perennially eternal time. Aham Vishwato Mukha Dhata, I am the all-pervasive giver of karma phala. Aksharanam Akarah Asmi, Samasikasya cha Dvandvaha, Aham eva Akshayah Kalah, Aham Vishwato Mukha Dhata. Among the letters, I am A, and I am the Dvandva among the compounds. I am indeed the perennially eternal time. I am the giver of karma phala, who is all pervasive. Aksharanam aham akarah asmi. Among all the letters, I am the letter A. The first sound is A, and through the modification of that basic sound come all other sounds of letters in all languages and dialects. Therefore, among all the letters, I am the basis. The excellence is that basic sound is me. Without that sound emanating from the voice box, where is the possibility of language? The greatest musical instrument ever made is the human voice. All other instruments have notes, but lyrics and bhavana can come only through the human voice. There, the basic sound is A. So, the Lord is manifest in the form of A. Every other sound is a modification of that. Because he is that basic sound, in all sounds, Bhagavan is there. Nothing is away from him. In all languages, there are compounds. In English, we have words such as housekeeping, blue-eyed, workplace, footpath, etc., which are compounds. They are all formed through usage, but in Sanskrit, compounds are formed by rules. So you can make a compound which, if properly formed, can theoretically be understood by anybody else. Two beautiful features of the Sanskrit language are the compounds and the taddita, or nominal derivatives. For example, the word arsha means that which belongs to the rishis. Vedanta is arsha. It does not belong to anybody in particular. Arsha Vidya is a compound. It is Arsha, born of sages, and it is Vidya, knowledge. The beauty of Sanskrit compounds. As an example of compounds made in the Sanskrit language, here we can look at a beautiful compound, Kataksha Kirana Achanta Naman Mohabdhaye. It is one word. All these words, Kata, Aksha, Kirana, Achanta, Naman, Mohan, Abdi, make up this one word. There is only one declension at the end. Moha Abdhaye. Kata means a corner, and Aksha an eye. So Kataksha means corner of the eye, a glance. If you look at someone through the corner of your eye, You illumine the person by your sight. So, this side glance being like a kirana, a ray of light, is kataksha kirana. These rays mentioned here, like the rays of the sun, not only light up things, but also dry up things. What do they dry up? They dry up the moha abhi. Moha is ignorance and delusion, and abhi is ocean. So, moha abhi is the ocean of ignorance and delusion. It is dried up by being achanta, sipped up. So the whole ocean of ignorance and delusion is dried up by the ray of one side glance. Whose glance? Who else can it be except Ishvara's? Our glance does not even dry up the tears, let alone the ocean. Here, I am not even asking for a direct look from the Lord. Just a glance is enough for me. Because he is infinite, my sorrow is nothing. Kataksha Kirana amounts to grace. The rays of whose glance dry up the entire ocean of delusion, for whom Namaskritana, for those who have surrendered to him. To get the glance, you have to go to him. This verse continues and ends up in two more compounds. Ananda, Ananta Ananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Salutations to that Lord Krishna who is limitless and all joy, whose very form is a blessing to the world. All these are compounds. The one who is Ananta, limitless, Ananda, all joy, Krishna, to that Krishna, my salutations. Krishna never had any sorrow, unlike Rama, who behaved as though he were a human being. Rama is the Lord expressing in the form of Dharma, and Krishna is the Lord expressing in the form of Ananda. Ananda attracts. It is the only attraction in the world, and the Lord is that Ananda. Jagan Mangala Murti is the one whose very form is a blessing to the world. There are even longer compounds than these. The beauty of Sanskrit is that in one compound you can express so much. They are divided into four main groups. Avyayi Bhava, Tatpurusha, Bahuvrihi, and Dvandva. In the Avyayi Bhava compounds, the first word is an indeclinable and is the most important. Take the word Upakumbham, which means near the pot. Here the first word, Upa, is the predominant word. In a Tatpurusha compound, the last word is important, as in Rajapurusha, the employee of the king. Here the second word, Purusha, is important because the compound refers to the Purusha, the man who belongs to the king. In a Bahuvrihi compound, another word, a word that is not in the compound, is the most important, Pradhana. That is, the compound refers to a word that is outside the compound. That is, it is an adjective to another word. Suppose that I say, Eka Karnam Anaya. Eka Karnam Anaya. Eka is one, Karna is ear, and Anaya means bring. Should you chop one ear off the first person you see and bring it? No, Eka Karna is a person who has only one ear. So this means bring the one-eared person. This is Bahuvrihi. Most of the compounds in the Gita are like this. And the fourth is the Dvandva. It is different. In the word Rama Lakshmanau, which is more important, here both are equally important. If you want to see Bhagavan in a compound, analyze a Dvandva compound. Among the compounds, I am the Dvandva, the compound where all words are equally important. The idea is the Lord is equally present in everything. Rama is the Lord, Lakshmana is the Lord, because the Lord is the same in all beings. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. I am equal in all beings. And in the Dvandva compound, you can see this fact about me totally. Therefore, I am the Dvandva among the compounds. So much of thought went into him saying, I am the Dvandva of the compounds. So should I repeat this whole thing on the Dvandva and the compounds and Akshara?
Yes, please, Guru Maharaji.
Yeah, so let me read this. Aksharanam aham akaraha. Akaraha asmi. Among all the letters, I am the letter A. I'm going to say A because although in English here it says A, in Sanskrit, A is the first letter, right? Akar, Aksharanam akaros. The first sound is A, and through the modification of that basic sound come all other sounds of letters in all languages and dialects. Therefore, among all the letters, I am the basis. Because every other letter has A in it. Even if you say K, K, G, G, that becomes Ka, it becomes only when K plus A is added. So that way, the modification of all other letters has A as an inclusion. So, and this is true for all the languages. So therefore, among all the letters, I am the basis. The excellence is that basic sound. In that basic sound is me. Without that sound emanating from the voice box, there is the possibility of language. The greatest musical instrument ever made is the human voice. All other instruments have notes, but lyrics and bhavana can come only through the human voice. There, the basic sound is A. So the Lord is manifest in the form of A. Every other sound is a modification of that. Because he is that basic sound, in all sounds, Bhagavan is there. Nothing is away from him. So like he is in and through creation, A is in and through all letters and words. And therefore he is A. In all languages, there are compounds. In English, we have words such as housekeeping, blue-eyed, workplace, footpath, etc., which are compounds. They are all formed through usage. But in Sanskrit, compounds are formed by rules. So you can make a compound which, if properly formed, can theoretically be understood by anybody else. Two beautiful features of the Sanskrit language are the compounds and the taddhita, or nominal derivatives. For example, the word arsha means that which belongs to the rishis. Vedanta is arsha. It does not belong to anybody in particular. Arsha Vidya is a compound. It is arsha, born of sages, and it is Vidya, knowledge. In fact, Swami Dayanandaji's Gurukulam is actually called Arsha Vidya Gurukulam or Arsha Vidya Peetham. The beauty of Sanskrit compounds. As an example of compounds made in the Sanskrit language, here we can look at a beautiful compound. Kataksha Kirana Achanta Naman Mohabdhaye. It is one word. All these words, Kata, Aksha, Kirana, Achanta, Naman, Moha, and Abdi, make up this one word. There is only one declension at the end. Mohabdhaye. Kata means a corner and Aksha an eye. So, Kataksha means corner of the eye, a glance. If you look at someone through the corner of your eye, you illumine the person by your sight. So, this side glance being like a kirana, a ray of light, is kataksha kirana. These rays mentioned here, like the rays of the sun, not only light up things, but also dry up things. What do they dry up? They dry up the mohabdi. Moha is ignorance and delusion, and abdi is ocean. So, mohabdi is the ocean of ignorance and delusion. It is dried up by being achanta, sipped up. So the whole ocean of ignorance and delusion is dried up by the ray of one side glance. Whose glance? Whose else can it be except Ishvara's? Our glance does not even dry up the tears, let alone the ocean. Here, I'm not even asking for a direct look from the Lord. Just a glance is enough for me. Because he is infinite, my sorrow is nothing. Kataksha Kirana amounts to grace. The rays of whose glance dry up the entire ocean of delusion, for whom Namaskritanam, for those who have surrendered to him. To get the glance, you have to go to him. This verse continues and ends in two more compounds. Ananta Ananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. Salutations to that Lord Krishna, who is limitless and all joy, whose very form is a blessing to the world. I'm going to read this. Kataksha Kirana Achanta Naman Mohabhaye Ananta Ananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye. All these are compounds. The one who is Ananta, limitless, Ananda, all joy, Krishna, to that Krishna, my salutations. Krishna never had any sorrow, unlike Rama, who behaved as though he were a human being. Rama is the Lord expressing in the form of Dharma, and Krishna is the Lord expressing in the form of Ananda. Ananda attracts. It is the only attraction in the world, and the Lord is that Ananda. Jagan Mangala Murti is the one whose very form is a blessing to the world. There are even longer compounds than these. The beauty of Sanskrit is that in one compound you can express so much. They are divided into four main groups. I'm just going back to this previous paragraph. See, Ananda attracts. It is the only attraction in the world, and the Lord is that Ananda, which is so important for us to be in that state of happiness. That is why Gurudev says, be happy. It is an order as well as a blessing. So when you are happy unconditionally from within, then you're able to spread that happiness to others. So there are four different main groups. These compounds in Sanskrit are divided into four main groups: Avyayi Bhava, Tatpurusha, Bahuvrihi, and Dvandva. The Avyayi Bhava compounds, the first word is an indeclinable and is the most important. So basically summing up this, the Avyayi Bhava, the first word is important. In the Tatpurusha, the second word is important. In Bahuvrihi, the compound actually implies another word outside of the compound, and Dvandva, both are important. In Dvandva, both the words or the words that make up the compound, both are equally important. So in the Avyayi Bhava compounds, the first word is an indeclinable and is the most important. Take the word Upakumbham, which means near the pot. Here, the first word, upa, is the predominant word. In a Tatpurusha compound, the last word is important, as in Rajapurusha, the employee of the king. Here, the second word, Purusha, is important because the compound refers to the Purusha, the man who belongs to the king. In a Bahuvrihi compound, another word, a word that is not in the compound, is the most important. Pradhana. That is, the compound refers to a word that is outside the compound. That is, it is an adjective to another word. Suppose that I say, Eka Karnam Anaya. Eka is one, Karna is ear, and Anaya means bring. Should you chop off one ear of the first person you see and bring it? No. Eka Karna is a person who has only one ear. So this means bring the one-eared person. This is Bahuvrihi. Most of the compounds in the Gita are like this. And the fourth is the Dvandva. So most of the compounds in the Gita are like Bahuvrihi. So it's an implied meaning. It's an adjective that describes another person. And the fourth is the Dvandva. It is different. So it will be interesting for us to keep this in mind and note where all we have these Bahuvrihi compounds that come up. In the word Rama Lakshmana, which is more important here? Both are equally important. If you want to see Bhagavan in a compound, analyze a Dvandva compound. Among the compounds, I am the Dvandva, the compound where all words are equally important. The idea is the Lord is equally present in everything. Rama is the Lord, Lakshmana is the Lord, because the Lord is the same in all beings. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal in all beings, and in the Dvandva compound, you can see this fact about me totally. Therefore, I am the Dvandva among the compounds. So it's very interesting that Bhagavan talks of Aksharanam Akarosmi, and then he goes on to say Dvandva Samasikasya cha. So it does not mean he's not, doesn't exist in the other compounds. It is only that of the compounds, he is there, he is prominent in the Dvandva compound. But Aksharanam Akarosmi, so he's there in every word. So that goes to say he's there in everything, in all the compounds, although his glory shows up in the Dvandva because each compound, each word of the Dvandva is equally important. Then he says, Aham eva akshayaha kalaha. There are two meanings given for kala. Here, there is no sixth case, no among, as we have seen, as we have been seeing, like in among the letters I am a, and of, as in of those who discuss, I am the discussion. Here, Bhagavan is simply expressing himself. Yeah. Where there is no sixth case, it means that he is talking about his Mahat Tattva, his Mahatva, greatness. Akshaya means that which does not come to an end. In the relative field of samsara, time does not come to an end. In a sense, it is a continuous flow. Of course, in Paramatma, there is no time. But within the framework of the Jagat, time is continuously flowing, and in it, all things come and go. So, I am that time which is perennially eternal. Or Shankara says the statement means, I am the time which is eternal, because of whom time is born, but who is timeless. I am Akshaya Kala. I am timeless, the truth of time, and the very creator of time. In all the other explanations, he said, Aksharanam Akarosmi. So Aksharanam is the sixth sense, sixth declination. And then he says, Dvandva samasikasya cha. That is also the sixth. Samasikasya cha. But here he says, Aham eva akshaya kala. He's just proclaiming. He is that absolute. He is not describing it amongst this I am kala. So he says, he's talking, therefore, he's talking about his mahatva, greatness. Akshaya means that which does not come to an end. In the relative field of samsara, time does not come to an end. We have seen that sarga, right? The srishti, sthiti, laya, and that continues as a cycle. In a sense, it is a continuous flow. Of course, in Paramatma, there is no time. But within the framework of the Jagat, time is continuously flowing and all things come and go. So, I am that time which is perennially eternal. Or Shankara says the statement means, I am the time which is eternal, because of whom time is born, but who is timeless. I am Akshaya Kala. I am timeless, the truth of time and the very creator of time. Dhata Aham Vishwato Mukha. Vishwato Mukha means the one whose faces are everywhere. Wow. Vishwato Mukha. He is all pervasive and he is Dhata, Vidhata, giver of karma phalas to all the beings according to their karmas, the one who ordains everything. It is not an arbitrary one-side giving. For each action, a specific result has to be given. The Lord says, I am doing that. My laws produce all the results. For all actions, right and wrong, I give the results. And he is qualified to do that because he is Vishwato Mukha, all pervasive. The idea is that there is nothing that takes place outside the scope of his vision. So every result is true to the karma that produced it. Vishwato Mukha. While everything is the manifestation of the Lord, there are areas of excellence. These are the places where you can appreciate the Lord. If you just appreciate the object, you miss out on something. But in appreciating the object as the glory of the Lord, you connect yourself to the whole. Otherwise, you connect only to an object in a subject-object relationship. In recognizing Ishvara's glory, you are immediately connected to the Lord, the total. Therefore, wherever there is an expression of excellence, Bhagavan says, please understand that it belongs to me. I'm reminded of Swami Vivekananda being asked by a student, why do I have to go to the temple? He says, God is everywhere, so why do I need to go to the temple? Then Swami Vivekananda tells him, there is air everywhere, but why do you sit under a fan? Don't you feel the presence of the fan, the air more when you sit near the fan? Similarly, in all, although Bhagavan is there in everything aspect of creation, his prominence is, there are areas of excellence. And then when you identify and recognize those areas of excellence and see the glory behind that is nothing but the Lord, then you automatically get connected to the Lord, rather than just having a subject-object relationship. I think we'll stop here today and we'll do Manana. Just chant the verses that we did. I think it was 30 downwards, no? 30 we did yesterday. Prahladaschasmi daityanam kalah kalayatamaham mriganam cha mrigendroham vainateyascha pakshinam. And I am Prahlada among the Daityas, the Asuras who are born of Diti. Among things that reckon, I am the time. This was very important, and let's make it happen. And I would request all of you also to cooperate with this, that we're starting on time, we will also end on time. That way we are respecting time. Yeah. So 6:30 Bahrain time, we will stop. And among the wild animals, I am the lion, and I am Garuda among the birds. Pavanah pavatamasmi, Rama shastra bhritamaham, Jashanam makaraschasmi, Srotasamasmi Jannavi. Among the purifiers, I am air. I am Rama among those who bear weapons. And among the fish, I am shark. Among the rivers, I am Ganga. And then Sarganamadhirantascha Madhyam Chaivaham Arjuna Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam Vadav Pravadatamaham. I am indeed the beginning, the middle, and the end of the creations, Arjuna. Among the disciplines of knowledge, I am the knowledge of the self. And of those who discuss, I am the discussion leading to truth. No wonder we feel so blessed when we are doing this in the morning, right? Because he is the discussion leading to truth. Aksharanamakarosmi dvandvasamasika cha ahamevakshayah kalo dhataham vishwato mukhaha. Among the letters, I am and I am the dvandva among the compounds. I am indeed the perennially eternal time. I am the giver of karma phala, who is all pervasive. And we'll stop here. We'll do the 34th verse from tomorrow. Just close our eyes and reflect on all that we have learned and imbibed. And we can all share, each one of us, even if it's a one-liner, what is it that really was profound for you? That will be wonderful to share.
Hariom. For this one, I want to keep it. Kataksha Kirana Achanta Namana Mohabdaye Ananta Ananda Krishnaya Jagana Mangala Murtaye. I want to keep chanting this throughout my day today. Just a ray of glance from the corner of his eyes is enough to remove that moha, maya of the sansar.
I would echo your thoughts on that. That is such a profound, and how well this can be expressed in Sanskrit. Sometimes words fail to explain things in Sanskrit. There are some Sanskrit words where you can't have an English parallel, but this is so beautiful. And he is there everywhere, although there are areas of excellence where you can feel the glory of that excellence. If you're able to appreciate, then you are connected to him, you're connected to the total. Which is what happens. No, otherwise, supposing you're listening to someone who's singing a beautiful song, if you're only having a subject-object relationship, you might just end up, number one, wanting to possess that same kind of a voice, or the complete opposite. You might start feeling jealous or say, "Oh, I don't have this." You might go into the arena of jealousy. Whereas when you attribute that and recognize that voice, the glory of the voice is nothing but the glory of Bhagwan, then you feel, you have that sense of oneness, of belonging to that person. So that samatva bhavana happens. So therefore, when you recognize the glory of any excellence in creation, any beauty in creation, then you automatically get connected to him. And this thing will happen. This kataksha kirana, achanta namana mohabhaye, ananta ananda krishnaya jagan murtaye, jagan mangala murtaye. It is like when you are connecting, when you're recognizing it, it is like you're invoking him and his grace in the form of that kataksha kirana will fall on you, and that mohabhaye, it just dries up. Just imagine it's an ocean. It's not, mohabhaye, the moha is, the ocean of delusion is huge and vast. So all of that is like sucked up and it's dried up just by that little side glance, which is nothing but his grace. And in order to get that grace, all we need to do is surrender to him. Please go ahead and share, everybody else.
Very beautiful. Thank you. I also love that. Another thing I like is about time. He says, I am time, where I note down everything that is happening. Nothing misses my awareness or my knowledge. And when you transcend the mind, I think you transcend the time as well, isn't it? That is what happens in meditation, where you go beyond time. And that is what is Bhagwan. He is time. It's very, very beautiful. I don't know why some people say that he has said that he is death. I don't know if I missed that.
He is timeless though, but he is never ending kind of thing. I mean, he's
yes, yes.
keeping account of him, but then at the same time, he's eternal, right? That.
With respect to Jagat, time is eternal. With respect to when you go beyond the Jagat, because there is no time in Paramatma. He is timeless. But he is the creator of time.
Yeah, creation is there, but then again, the way you mentioned here is Aham Evakshaya Kalu then Ataham Vishwato Mugha. Never ending time. I mean, like even in samsara, the things are happening, coming and going and all that, but he is keeping account of all of that.
So every moment he is aware of what is happening with everybody.
Right.
So that
like
way he is time. This is my understanding. Yeah. So when he says, I am time, I keep account of everything.
Okay.
And he's also beyond
for us,
time.
like a time meaning like, one, like, we have some limitations in terms of time. That's why I thought, yes, he created the time, but then again, when you talk about the glory, that he's able to keep up with the time, ever ending time, right? Like it's keep on continuing.
So he's eternal. So
Yeah.
in that way, that time is eternal because he says, I am time.
Right.
Isn't it?
So he is able to keep account of all of it.
So this is where Gurudev also has said that people say that when Krishna says, I am time, he says, I am death. I don't know if anything like that is there in the Bhagavad Gita where Bhagavan says, I am death.
Yeah, he says, I'm the Lord of death. No? That comes in the next few shlokas. I think that comes.
Okay.
He
did say that in the past. Yama, I am Yama in one of the sloka when we read yesterday.
Was it in the already finished? Yeah.
I missed
Yeah,
yesterday's
we
class.
read Yama. Yeah. We
Okay,
read
thank you.
Yama somewhere yesterday.
Mm.
In the
You
coming
know,
shloka, 34 shloka, he's saying that I am death. We have to
Ah,
study it. Yeah.
all right, okay. So I had
Nriti,
this confusion about time and death. So I'll wait for tomorrow. Thank you.
He is everything. There is nothing that he's not.
That's what he says, right? Everything, creation, sustenance, and the destruction, everything is all three actions unto him. Right? It's all of that actions. He even talk about, the Kriya and Sankalpa, Kriya, and what else is it? Sankalpa and Kriya, and one more.
The karma
The end.
phala.
Karma.
Jai Gurudev, we can look at this whole thing like creation, sustenance, and dissolution. So there also we can take this ultimate thing as the death. No, anything is created is bound to get dissolved. So there, if it is referred as the death, I don't know. This one thought came into my mind. One thing I
Yeah,
want to share with
that's what
everyone. Yeah, this thing is coming continuously live on YouTube, no? So some people it may find it. I do it on my TV. It's very beautifully like you can connect if you are not able to connect to Zoom. Only thing is there is some time lag. Huh? At least 50 seconds to 1 minute time lag is there, but the flow on YouTube is very beautiful live.
Oh,
So
is it?
just it is for the
Yes,
other people
yes.
who are not able to
Even I,
connect to Zoom.
true. Even I found the live one was easy to listen to, but we are not able to participate. That's why Zoom
Yeah,
is
we are
good.
not able to. Yeah. So this death thing came, and then immediately I came on Zoom. So maybe Brahmaraji can explain how I am the death when he says no. So in that perspective, or some another dimension also can be opened up. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, he right now in this verse, he's talking of he is the time. Aham, what is the say? Aham eva akshaya kala. So he's talking of time here. I think in the next verse, like Savita ji mentioned, he talks of death. And he's Vishwato Mukha. That's such a beautiful, so many beautiful words we've been given today. Vishwato Mukha, the one who has faces in all directions, everywhere.
Yeah, the Viswatamuga, we read it in 9th chapter also, I think.
Mm.
In one of the
I'm
things. Yeah.
reminded.
Bahudha Vishwato Mukham. Bahudha Vishwato Mukham.
Right. So I'm reminded in childhood we were taught, there is someone watching over your actions. So be careful, make sure you're doing good actions. So this thing is ingrained in our culture that there is someone watching over you. So that Vishwato Mukha, he's all pervasive. And he's Dhata, Vidhata, giver of karma phalas. And he does that without
Who is watching over you, Dr. Brahmara? That's why the Sakshi, that we have all within ourselves Sakshi.
correct.
Yeah. So there you go. So it just one of those things comes to you, right? When you think about it, who's watching? I mean, a lot of people are watching us on top of it. Among then Ishvara is watching you constantly. That's why somebody made a mistake or something. Oh, God will take care, like that we say. Now we know that he is a Sakshi also, witness for
You
everything.
cannot escape yourself, no. See, you might
Hmm?
pull wool over everybody else's eyes, but what is going
Right.
on inside of you, you know.
Yeah.
That
That's why we call it Manasakshi, right?
Manasakshi, correct.
Yeah.
But
You
that
have to.
concept, the child cannot understand the
Yeah.
witness consciousness. So even I was taught in childhood, God is watching.
It is true.
That
Whatever
That's
God
we
is
the
in you.
do.
When you become older, you're taught, and Bhagavad Gita tells you that
Yeah.
God is nothing but you, and you are that. He is you.
So that is why we grow up thinking God is somewhere outside.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
then we have to change that concept.
See, we all grew up with the Dvaita Bhava. That is there, right? So you say you have a Murti out there, and then you prostrate to him, you do puja and everything. So there is the Dvaita Bhavana is there, but I think that is important. That is a prerequisite for you to move on to this Advaita.
You know, in the
Yes,
old days,
otherwise
the-
two are needed, then only you can do the puja and offering. No, that important bhav comes up, swells up in us when there is a dvait. Then God is there. The way, see how we do the puja. Even the child, when it offers something, it's full of heart and fully. That thing happens only when dvait is there. So dvait
But
also is needed very
yeah,
much.
it is needed. But I'm just thinking aloud, like in future, maybe all of us who are already mumukshus, maybe in our next janmas, we might not need to be Dvaitas. I mean, you might just start off with having, because that is what he talks of in the 6th chapter. You start off, you continue the thread from where you left it. So probably you would already be born dispassionately. And who knows that is why there are these sannyasis who take to sannyasa when very young. In fact, our Shankaracharya took to sannyas when he was just 8 years old. So I think that might happen as a part of evolution.
So we will be all
Yeah.
sannyasis next.
I just wanted
Let's
to
come together and do
tell you a couple of
We don't
things.
know. We don't know that might happen.
Yeah.
very nice.
Yesterday, we were talking about that video, right? I went over it. I couldn't really listen to it because about half the time I spent on searching it. You know, it's in that live. It's not in the playlist.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
Uh,
Yeah. So I could not do anything about it. But what
No,
I
no,
was
don't worry
thinking,
about it. I'm just telling you where it is, the
mm,
chapter. It's in the not in the videos. I think it's in
mm,
the when you go in the live part,
live
where,
videos, right?
yeah, and that
Okay.
one you did label it, but then that's where it is. And
Ah,
then the
okay.
other thing I found, remember we talked about what you put when you're starting the page. We call it as Pillayar Shuri. Pillayar means Ganapati, the Ganesha.
Mm,
So we start any page like they put one woo kind of letter.
mm,
In that letter called Prayer, like they start with the Ganesha, all the pages that I just remembered.
ah,
The other thing also, they in the childhood they say like if you do lie, the God will poke your eye, like they kind of scare you not to
yeah,
tell the lie.
yeah, they scare you, correct.
Swami Kannukuthiru, like that's what they
Mm,
say. Anyway, that's something I just wanted to share that.
mm. That is only to keep us on track of dharma. See, all that was said, because
Yeah,
fear is one thing that will put you on the track of dharma.
right.
Otherwise,
Nowadays, people say different things, right? For
mm,
everything, the doctor will put a woozy, like they in India, like wherever I go, like they still keep saying the doctor will put the shot or something. They can scare the kids. Then when they go to the doctor, they're really scared and crying.
yeah, I
Anyway,
know.
I thought I would tell you that it's nice that how we are brought up.
You can get people to do things out of fear or out of love or out
Yeah.
of greed. This is what Gurudev says. You tell them you'll get $1 million if you do your Kriya every day for 1 week, then they will do it because of greed for that. but there are people who do it just out of love. So there are
Yeah.
different categories of people, and therefore we have these different methods. But what I was thinking regarding the videos, I know Sumaji had requested yesterday. I thought we'll finish chapter 10 completely, and then we'll go and visit the videos. We'll look at the videos once. I think that way we have maybe another 10, 12 verses left. After we've done that, then we'll go to the videos. Is that fine?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So actually, we are learning so much of Sanskrit. Not only are we improving in our pronunciation of Sanskrit, I can see a sea change in all of us who are, expressing it. We've improved in our pronunciation and our diction of Sanskrit, and also somewhere subtly our understanding of Sanskrit and their words also is kind of improving. Earlier, maybe when we were reading the Bhagavad Gita, we would not understand all the words there. But now, as you're chanting every day, and we're doing this Manana as well, we're doing the Shravana and Manana, the meanings of the words are also happening. So there is actually in Sanskrit Bharati, they have learning Sanskrit through Bhagavad Gita. So they keep Bhagavad Gita as the base, and then they learn Sanskrit from that. And that's exactly how Nana learned. He did not have a Sanskrit background at all, but it's amazing his capacity and his comprehension of Sanskrit verses is only because of this.
You know, the 11 videos we have on 10 chapter, I just counted it.
Oh, you did? Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, 11 videos under live section under your name, yeah, under your channel.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, we have Manana ourselves. That is another 10 videos there. Because remember, we used to do Manana after each class. That one different video. That's good that you put it a different video.
Right.
Yeah, anyway.
Right. No, we'll watch Nana's videos. I think our Manana, anyway, we're doing it now. So we'll just watch Nana's videos there. So anybody else wants to share? We have 2 minutes left. One liner, each one. Remember that, what is that? Tesham Satata Yuktanam, not that.
You know, to me, that the two things that come to mind, that the discipline of, all the disciplines of knowledge is the highest knowledge is about the Atma Jnana.
Right.
And then he talks about that action also very nicely, and the discussions very nicely. So the action, we already talked about it. Kriya, Sankalpa, Kriya, and Karma Pala. And then the discussion, I'm just only quoting those words. Vada, Jalpa, and Vidanta. So how he even gave a name for Jalpa is fanaticism, and in one word, like Vedanta is like a cobweb in their head or something like that. Whereas Vada is, I am Vada, like it is a discussion to find out the truth. So one who does Vada to find the truth reaches Yeshvara. Like that, it was nicely described. So that, those two I really kind of nice. I mean, all of them were nice.
Yeah. So we'll wind up here today. We'll respect time. That is respecting Bhagwan. We'll catch up tomorrow. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
We wait for Ishvara's Kadaksha Kiranam and
Yes.
batting of the eyelid, you know.
Yes.
It's one of those nice compound words. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai Guru.